Yes, my people, welcome back to the KAPE channel. 2 lives in 2 days. Who is this man? What's going on? Obviously, shout out to everyone that jumped in my live yesterday. Shout out everyone to subscribe to my channel. If you're new or you're returning or you're tuning into this live, just drop a like on this video. Drop a subscribe to my channel. I am on the road to 2,000 subs. All things Arsenal, international break. Off the back of watching that England game yesterday and a magical Bukayo Saka goal. Martinelli winning player of the month for September, something that made me very happy given the way Arsenal fans were with him. And just dropping your comments, anything that you guys say, as long as it's appropriate, I will be reading out on the screen. And yeah, we'll get into this live. Of course, shout out to everyone. Just give me 1 second. Let some people fill in. If you're jumping into the chat, yes, drop a comment, drop a like, let me know that you're here, whoever you are, however you are on this Friday afternoon. And yes, we'll get into this live. So this live, I just want to talk about, obviously, ranking the Arsenal summer signings so far. Obviously, Arsenal have done some business. We've got some players in. We've seen about 10 games in. Obviously, some of them have featured a bit more than others. And I just wanted to kind of break down my thoughts on these players, like how I rate them so far. Nothing too harsh, nothing too mad. Just kind of give my thoughts, how they fit into such like. So we'll start off, before I do that. So everyone tuning in, hit the subscribe button to the KAPE channel. Smash the like button. The likes really help. Really help the channel, really help the algorithm. So yes, please do all of that. So yeah, we'll remind you. So let's just go by. And we'll start off with this man over here. Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal's first official signing, if I'm correct, something that got confirmed by us or for us, start of last year, I think Edu and Jason Ato started that business, and obviously Andre Berta came to kind of finish it off, which was great. Obviously, Zubimendi DM came in to replace Jorginho and Partey, two long stayers in our team, two senior veterans, two classics in their own way. And I think Zubimendi's coming and fitting like a glove. Started all but one game. Obviously, didn't start against West Ham, but came on and changed the game. Got 2 pre-assists. Obviously, the pass leading to Eze's shot, and then obviously the pass that led to Timber winning a penalty. But we've seen a lot from him. Obviously, the physical nature of starting in the Old Trafford game, getting elbowed in the first minute, having to adapt there. You've seen him play. Lovely stuff, getting 2 mad goals, 1 mad volley outside the box and a header, something that you didn't really expect from him. But I think all in all, he's been amazing. And I think him not starting on the weekend against West Ham and then coming on playing, I think was an epitome of his quality, because of course we started we started Odegaard and Rice, which is a midfield I would like to see more often. But Zubimendi came on, changed the shape, and he showed how much of a boss DM he is, how much he elevates our midfield. And I think he's one of those players that if Arsenal do win the league this year or win the Champions League, he will go unnoticed, he'll go under the radar, he'll go underrated, because obviously maybe the likes of Gyökeres and Eze, Saka, Rice, other players that will get more plaudits. But Zubimendi gets everything ticking. His intelligence, his reading of the game, like for that Eze pass, for that first goal against West Ham, that pass he played to Eze, when he's received the ball from Saka, he's already known what the picture is. He already knows what he's going to do, and he's already played that pass. Like, he's an excellent player, excellent player. Like, someone that I really love. Obviously, looking at some of his performances against West Ham, he got a 7.8 against Olympiacos, 7.7, Newcastle 7.2. Averaged about 6.5 against City and a 6 against Atletico Bilbao. 9.2 against Forest, obviously the 2 goals. And, he's been quite a consistent performer, like someone that I love, someone that I rate. Obviously, for 55 million, I think it was, you can argue that could be a bargain, which is crazy when you think about it, because that's a lot of money. But you think about the player that we have, the way he's come into a new league. He's only about 25, 26. He's not like the biggest of player, but he's very, very snappy and springy in his challenges. Very, very like good and timing in terms of his aerial ability, and just in general. Like, I love the player, and I credit him. I credit Mikel Arteta. I credit like the other Spanish players, and I credit just him the way he's elevated our team. So that's Zubimendi. I will be showing the rankings and where I put these guys at the end. I'll just go through each player, give my word on them, and then I will. So comment down below, where do you like? What's your thoughts on Zubimendi? Put it in the chat, and obviously I'll read out your comments as well. So moving on to the next player, it's got to be this man, Eberechi Eze. the Arsenal boy himself come in. Obviously, one of our last signings. Well, Piero and Sape was our last signing, but Eze was one of our last signings. Came very late, but obviously has started his Arsenal life well. Obviously, assist against Man City, beautiful assist for the Martinelli goal. Got his first goal against Port Vale. Got another assist against, I think it was Forest for. No, was it Forest? Yeah, Forest for Gokeres's goal from that Calaferi pass. Obviously, he's played in multiple positions on the left wing. He's played in the central spaces in the 10, which we're more likely to see. And I think he's been quality, of course. I think there's levels that he can go up to as well, which is so much of how I wish to rate the player, not just in terms of output, just in terms of taking the game himself and making things happen. But obviously, at the same time, he's coming to a team, learning the system, learning how to play with new players, and the pressure of it that is playing for Arsenal. But I think he's been excellent. I love Eze, man. The way he smiles, the way he plays, the grace he plays at, the confidence that he plays with, willingness to always want to play forward as well. Can tell he's also an intelligent guy, the way he moves the ball quickly as well. I love intelligent players. You can tell I love intelligent players that think. I like to deem myself an intelligent guy. So when I see players that obviously emulate that type of intelligence, a football brain is great. Eze is a quality player. Obviously, 2 assists and 2 goals already in his Arsenal career. I think in about like 7 games. Obviously made his debut against Liverpool at Anfield. Would have hoped he started that game, but obviously Mikel wanted to go a bit more safe, which is understandable. But amazing performance against Newcastle away in that first half, the way he was running the show, the shots that he was making. He was unlucky to not score, and just the bravery that he offers us in that 10, I think, is also what allows Odegaard to elevate his own play, in which we've seen before he's been injured. When Odegaard has played, he's been amazing. So the shout out Eze, £60 million signing, someone that was needed, someone that I've been calling for us to sign for years. So come in, I think, at the right time. You see him that obviously he's part of the England setup now. Solidly part of the England setup, and obviously our number 10, an amazing player. So I rate him. Obviously, looking at some of his performances, got a 6.7 against West Ham. I think it was quite a game. I don't think he done anything mad. Obviously, did have that strike, did miss that chance he should have scored. I'm pretty sure himself would have done that. Came off the bench against Olympiacos with Saka at the end. Obviously, a couple of good moments, but can't really rate him. The Newcastle game, funny enough, they gave him a 6.4, but I thought he was amazing. So it's kind of how do you read into stats. But in that first half, it was amazing. Obviously, Port Vale game, 7.7, got his goal. Man City game, got the assist, the equalising assist, obviously, from that central area. Once Mikel brought him on, I believe, because he didn't start that game, which was crazy. And then, obviously, yeah, against Atletico Bilbao, he was decent. Against Forest, obviously, got the assist, 8.5. I think he was very good in that game as well. So shout out to Ebere Eze as well. He's an amazing player. And yeah, we get to the end of this live. I'll give my rankings and I'll put it on screen for you guys. So yeah, just comment down below any of the players as I'm going through them, any comments you want to put in. So the next player on this list is got to be none other than this man, the number 9, Victor Gyökeres. A bit controversial. You're seeing obviously Arsenal fans doing typical Arsenal fan stuff on social media, discussing him. Obviously, some saying they miss Havertz, comparing Havertz to Jesus. Some obviously this and that. Obviously, he's always in the news on Sky Sports. They're always talking about Gyökeres, whether he's good or not, this and that and this and that. This is my opinion. As I've said many a times, I was never the biggest fan of Gyökeres throughout the last couple of seasons, seeing his goal record. I also wanted Sesko. I wanted Isak. Well, as number 1, Sesko was my number 2 before I wanted Gyökeres. So as he signed for Arsenal, seeing the story, obviously, he only wanted Arsenal. Seeing he's come in, he's got his first couple of goals in the first couple of games, which was good. Obviously, the goals are kind of dried up, but I think his performances have got better. Like that was something I didn't credit him for, like, in terms of the back to goal stuff, the out of the box stuff, the link up play stuff, and just other things like that. But I think his play has got better. Like he started to learn how to play with these players. I think his overall touches and stuff has got better. There's a couple of chances in the last couple of games he could have scored. I'm pretty sure him himself knows that, and I think he will score that. Like, yes, he's a striker and he's a bagsman. If there's one thing you don't discredit someone like Gyökeres, is his goal scoring record and his ability to put the ball in the back of the net. But I think he settled into life at Arsenal well. I think it's been unfair with him, which is why I'm more of a patient guy anyway, so it's a bit different. He's come into our team. Unluckily for him, Havertz gets injured and against Man United. The first game, Jesus already had an injury from last year with the ACL, so he hasn't really had that real striking competition. Obviously, yes, we have a Marino, we've got a Trossard in there, but it's not the same. So he's having to play a lot of minutes, a lot of games, start a lot of games, so he can't really be taken out the limelight or rested. And this is for the back of a guy that didn't have a preseason because he was obviously trying to get that move over to us in it. So it's very interesting. With that, but I think he started life at Arsenal well. I think he's improved, and I think obviously given the fact that we've got a bit favourable fixtures at the end of after the international break, I think he can get his goal scoring record done. Obviously, hopefully in this international break he does get a goal, get his confidence coming back in, and then obviously he's shooting boots on. Let's just say that, and obviously Fulham away will be a great game because that's game that we suffer and we struggle against to beat, especially in the last 2 seasons we drew and then we lost there. I remember the season before in that Christmas period. So he coming there, maybe scoring the goals, being decisive. That's where I need him. Obviously, in the bigger games, it's difficult. We're playing against players that are either better than you or as good as you. So you can't just expect him to just rip it up all the time. Haaland struggles, Kane struggles against Gabriel and Saliba. So you have to put in perspective. I think he's been good. We've got the 6 games out of the way. He's got off the record, obviously off the books in terms of he's got 3 goals. I didn't want him to get the sympathy penalty. Obviously, I'd assumed he was our penalty taker, but Saka taking the penalty is just right. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure that this. Let me make sure that my live is. Yesterday my connection was absolutely in the bin. So let me see if it looks clean. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Sorry for that stoppage. But yeah, shout out to Victor Gyokeres. Obviously, looking at some of his ratings from his game so far, obviously, he had a poor rating against West Ham. I think he was poor against West Ham. Not poor. I just think he wasn't his best performance, considering he's been a bit better. I think Olympiacos game, he could have scored a couple of chances. Was unlucky with one of the curlers that he did, but I think he was better overall. Obviously, Odegaard's found him well. Newcastle game, they rated him quite low, which is interesting. Obviously, I know he had a couple of chances that he kind of hit into himself, over hit, under hit, but I think his overall game was well. Port Vale game, he came off the bench, can't really rate him. Man City game was a struggle. So yeah, you're looking at some of these ratings. Obviously, strikers don't score, that's what they get rated on, but I think he's improved thoroughly, in my opinion. So yeah, shout out to Victor Gyokeres. Moving on to the next one, and obviously I'm sad about this guy because he was ripping it up, is Nonito Madueke. Obviously came in to the team, was a lot of polarizing signing. Arsenal fans signing petitions online. You can't really take a scope of social media. Signing petitions online, obviously spending 50 million from a Chelsea player. Obviously, people don't like Arsenal buying from Chelsea, seeing the history of some of the players we bought. But I do like Havertz. I did like David Luiz, in my opinion. But obviously, cool. But I think he's done well. Obviously, he was bought to provide competition, depth for Saka, and depth for the front line. And first game, second game of the season, Saka gets injured. Madueke gets steps in, obviously comes into his more natural position, and we saw how good he is. Elite and relentless 1v1 ability. That's something that I think I spoke about it in my player profile video I did on Madueke. Go check out my channel. Why I said the truth about Manu Madueke that no one's noticing is what the title is, but the relentless 1v1 ability, man, the repeatability and the threat that he has, he can beat his man. Like Saka and him are different type of players. Saka's a more gracious player, more chess piece player in terms of playing as a wing. So some people might look at Madueke and his relentless time that he might beat his man and think, oh, this guy is what I prefer. But obviously Saka's more gracie, his final third ability, his final third pass, his consistency in terms of getting good deliveries and good shots on goal is not second to none. That was something that I would discredit against Madueke. I think for the amount of time that he beat his man, his final third ball sometimes is a bit poor. I think I do like the caress ball to the back post, but sometimes just picking out a man, maybe he's a pullback, maybe a good shot, or maybe he's getting himself some shots. I don't think he's shot enough. Like I profiled Madueke being a player that does take a lot of shots, but he hasn't taken shots. But I understand new team are being a bit selfless, but he's been a breath of fresh air. Like we struggled last year with having wingers that once Saka was out beating their man, Martinelli was out of form, Trossard isn't that type of player, Wanyeri isn't an out and out winger, even though sometimes he did beat his man. But Noni's been a breath of fresh air. I hope for a speedy recovery from him. He definitely is one of the best signings this summer so far in terms of from what the perception of what he was, but what he brought when Saka was out, we wasn't missing him or asking for Saka to come back, which is a credit. Which imagine us saying this in the last 4 or 5 years. So shout out to Nonito. And hopefully he comes back soon. As I said, I'll be doing the ratings and where I rate all these players in terms of what I rank them for sometimes so far. Comment down below what you agree or disagree with in that rankings, but also drop a comments in this video and drop a like, please. Okay, so moving on from Noni, I think it just makes sense that the next player that we have to talk about is this man. Christian Mosquera or Christian Bosquera. Shout out to BBK. I think that's one of the legendary names for him still that I heard. A player that I also said was an important player, one of the more important signing because of the fact that he provides cover for William Saliba. Fact of the matter that he had played multiple seasons in the Liga, so he's an experienced player. He's 20. He has the attributes, that strength, the pace, the composure on the ball is not something that like I expected. Obviously, he is Spanish and he has played in the Spanish league, more football in terms. So I can't say that I didn't expect him to be good, but he's very, very good. Like very, very good. The line breakers, the way he waits for someone to try and press him out, then plays that little small pass to zubimendi or plays it out to the to 10. I love that stuff, man. And he's come in. First game or first real minutes was against Anfield when Saliba got injured in the first 10 minutes. Came out, we'd even miss Saliba. Then obviously Saliba was out for a couple of games. He played to the stage where in the Man City game, we were all asking and thinking, do you play Mosquera in that game? Because even though Saliba is fit or potentially is fit, this guy has been amazing. Obviously, he hasn't played as much minutes since then. Obviously, he has come on to kind of, give a Saliba or Gabriel some rest in centre back, or sometimes when Ben White was out, he was coming on to kind of give Timber some rest. But he's been amazing, man. Bargain, £30 million. Andrea Berta, you done your thing, man. With this player, he's increased our depth, he's increased our ability. I don't think we have to play Saliba every single game. And we've seen that now, and we can trust that. Like if we see a game, like for example, Newcastle away, yeah. So it's funny enough, he started in that game, and yes, he came off at hard time. I think that was the right sub. Not that he did anything particularly wrong. People blame him for the goal, and yes, okay, cool. He made a mistake that led to the corner, that led to the goal, but there was a lot of people to blame there. But I think the fact that we can be comfortable that he's starting in a big away game like that and not be like, oh my God, why is he not playing? These are the things I'm talking about. There will be times when Noni's fit, that Saka will be on the bench and Noni will start. We'll be like, oh, when Havertz is fit, Goko's been on the bench, fine. When Zubimendi's fit, he was on the bench just on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? These are the things we want to see. So shout out Christian Mosquera. One of my favorite players as well. I really like him. And you can tell he's a really humble type of player, like from just his signing and everything else. But he's real gravy, man. Real gravy. I know opposition fans are hating the fact that we have this player. So shout out to Christian Mosquera. The next one on the list is going to be Christian Norgaard. Christian. Obviously, I'm a Christian, so funny enough, double, triple Christian. But yeah, he only had that one performance, which was against Port Vale. Obviously, well, one game. Obviously, I think he's come on in a couple of games. I think against the Bilbao game. I think he came on. Did he come on against West Ham? Let me have a look. Actually, no, he didn't come on against West Ham. So yeah, he's kind of struggled. Obviously, he started his life a bit with an injury, so he couldn't start the season. Obviously, he was in preseason. I think he was a decent player in preseason, in my opinion. Kind of surprised me. Just keep the ball moving. Reminds me of an Neni type of player, but I guess with his experience in the Prem, with his ability, with his captain's ability and leadership, I think that adds a bit more. With the fact that he hasn't played for a club like Arsenal, I'm pretty sure that hunger, you see him, the excitement, he's like, I get to play in Champions League. I kind of left that dream. These little things for me is why players perform in it, but we haven't really seen that much of him. I think Port Vale was quite good, but obviously League One opposition, so you got put into context. But I think he's the kind of player that will stay ready and be ready for when he needs to be playing, push guys in training, and obviously provide that leadership for a still young team where he's one of the oldest players in the team. But for 10 million, I think it was. Again, another quality player, Premier League proven, and hopefully we get to see a bit more of him after the international break when the games kind of ramp up, you know? So the next player I think will be the similar players only play one game is Kepa Arrizabalaga. He also made his debut in that Port Vale game, got a clean sheet, didn't really have much to do. I think there was one time he made like a risky pass. I think it was to no, it wasn't. I don't know. I think he was okay in the game, but obviously we haven't really seen him play anything but that, so I can't really rate him. £5 million. Signing for your second goalkeeper, that's the kind of things that you want. So you're not going to really be looking him to play so many minutes. But when he does come in, you expect a certain level of quality. But with his Premier League experience, Spanish international at some point as well, his age, the fact that he's still the world's expensive goalkeeper on history, I like him, and the fact that you have to realize he's training with David Raya, pushing him in training, improving his levels. I think Raya's had an excellent start to the season again, as he did last season. Who I've already voted for him to get Golden Boot, but having a quality backup like this, who's pushing him, competition as well. I'm pretty sure Kepa will want to get some minutes, more minutes than what he's played so far. I credit him 5 million. Can't really give him too much of a rating. He was decent in that game, and yeah, we move. And the last and not least is this man, Piero Hincapie. Obviously, I feel sorry for this guy. Obviously, apparently, I didn't know. Mikel said in his press conference that he had a surgery in the summer, so I don't know if he had an injury from last season. I didn't really look into that, but that's interesting. But yeah, I think he had a groin injury, I think it is, so he's kept him out. He did make his debut against Bilbao, came on for a couple of minutes. And one thing I liked in that game is that he showed a bit of dog. Like, I think he came on, I think a player tried to foul him. He showed a bit of, and I like that come into the team and show that. Obviously, he is South American from Ecuador. Please hope that, yeah, he is from Ecuador. I think he's a quality player, and I think it'll be interesting to see where he gets used. Would he be used as a left back to provide that overlapping sense? Would he be used as a left centre back, which I think he said that he likes to play in, similar to Calafiori, or would it just be a mix of both? But I think once he comes in, we have a bit more depth for Gabriel, especially when you think about like Gabriel on the international break. He's traveling to, I think Brazil are playing. who they're playing. I think South Korea. I don't know if they're playing. I think they must be playing out there. It's a long distance. Obviously, they're probably gonna have another game in Brazil. So he's gonna be traveling long distance. So having this kind of depth, maybe you might see a Calafiori start in left centre back, and maybe Lewis Skelly starts against Fulham. Who knows, innit? But having this depth now is good. I think he's a quality player. He has pace, has set piece ability because he's good in the air as well. He's an experienced player because he's won the league or in the Bundesliga, so he has that experience of winning as well. He clearly wanted to come to Arsenal, did all he can to come to Arsenal, and I think he probably is raring to go. Won't give him a rating, and he probably will be at the bottom of the list because he hasn't played that many minutes. But I do really like this player, and yeah, man, it's just interesting. So that's all the players so far. The summer signings. Obviously, let me go into my list and see if let's see if we can create this list quickly. It'll be a quick one, to be honest. So let's see. So hopefully you guys can see my screen on here. Let's have a look. I don't think you can. Okay, yes, you can now. Okay, put myself down there. So okay, cool. Let's do this list. Comment down below anything you can. So if you don't think I've put a player too low or too high, please drop it into the comments. I know no one's really been commenting, but I understand. First of many lives. So let's get into this. Okay, I'll start from the bottom. I think that'll be easier. So number 8, I'm gonna put Hincapie. He hasn't played. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. But yeah, cool. Technical difficulties, yeah. Nice. Okay. Do you know what? It's fine. I'll make it big at the end. So I'll start with Hincapie. I think it only makes sense. I think number 7, I'm gonna put, because he hasn't played that many minutes. I put Kepa. He's only played 1 game. Also hasn't played that many minutes. And number 6, I'm gonna go Norgaard. I think those 3 are the easiest to do. So see, number 8 Kepa, 7. So number 8 Hincapie, 7 Kepa, and obviously number 6 we're going with Norgaard. I'm sorry if you can't see it so clearly, but I will make it bigger. Okay, so number 5, which is where it gets a bit tough still. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Madueke. I'm gonna go with Noni. I think he is one of my favorite signings, and I think he's been one of the most exciting signings so far. But I think, obviously, given the fact that he's an attacking player, he hasn't got any goals or assists as of yet. Obviously, he is competing against a guy that does get a lot of output, and that is his strongest position. And obviously, he's been injured now, so we haven't seen him in the last few games. But I think when he was playing, he was definitely our most threatening player against Liverpool, against Bilbao, against, I think it was Forest, where he was relentless. Yeah, so I give him that. But obviously, I think the 4 players that 4 players, some of the 4 players I think have to get rated a bit higher than that. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Gokares. I think he started off well. 3 goals in 10 games. I think all competitions is not the best, but it's decent. Obviously, we can get a brace in the next game, and that looks way different. So I think that I think some of the performances, like for example, Man City game, I think wasn't his best. Like for example, the United game, first game of the season, was struggle, but first game of the season. But at the same time, he's got the goals. He's been improving. And I think especially once he has a bit more competition in his position, like, he's not expected to start like because you have a Havertz and Jesus. I think his level goes up even more. So I put him at 4 for now. I will be revisiting these at the next international break, maybe in another live or pre-recorded, depending. Probably do it live. So we'll revisit what I said now, and then we'll reassess where I rate these players. Obviously, if some players haven't come back from injury, we're gonna have to keep them there. So yes. So Gokares is my number 4. Number 3. I'm gonna put my boy Christian Mosquera. I think obviously he's been taken a bit out of the limelight in the last couple of games, or limelight, but just hasn't played as much. Minutes obviously did start against Bilbao, if I'm correct, but I think he's been an amazing player, like a breath of fresh air. Please drop a like if you're jumping into the like as well. Drop a like if you're jumping into the like. Amazing. Drop a like if you're jumping into the live, and obviously drop a subscribe to my channel. If you're just jumping in, shout yourself out. I'll read your comments on screen. So if you look at this list, do you agree? Do you not agree so far on where I'm ranking these Arsenal summer signings so far? So yes, Mosquera, number 3. I think he's deputized for Saliba well. He has played left centre back as well some games, which has been good and interesting. I think at his age, new league, new country, new language, he's settled in like fine wine. and you can tell he's going to be one of those players that is going to be amazing. The fact that we signed Saliba and Gabriel to new deals, I'm pretty sure he already had some out that he's already on a 5-year deal himself. I'm loving it, and yeah, it's hard for him not to not make that top 2, but some of these players up there are good. I think number 2, I'm gonna put my boy Eze there. I think Eze has been a breath of fresh air coming in. Came in obviously when Odegaard was fit, was the starting left winger. Got the assist against Forest. Got his goal against Port Vale. Got his assist against City. So he started off the season well. Has been playing in the number 10, his more natural position now that Odegaard's been out. Ethan hasn't been getting the minutes in there, which would be interesting to see how this goes throughout the season. But I think the fact that he's played in that left wing position, played in that 10 position when Odegaard's been out, or even with Odegaard sometimes, and we haven't missed him. He's pushing, he's bringing that the Eze essence into that 10 position, the central areas where we can play a bit riskier, as we have been doing this season, playing more central, and you have players that can receive in a half turn 10. I spoke about this in one of my shorts. I said I just want players that can receive the ball in the central areas on a half turn, swivel, play a nice pass, dribble, beat a man, or shoot. And we've got a player like that in there to abundance, and the fact that he's got his first goal, he's got his assist, so he's not like he's this whole 007 narrative that fans like to do and that nonsense. And for himself, he's not going to be in his head. I'm pretty sure he's settled down in well. He didn't play against England yesterday. He probably will start on Tuesday. Hopefully he gets no injuries, comes back, because obviously with Odegaard's MCL injury, we're going to need Eze a lot, especially in those central areas, and he's played well. So I give him number 2, but I think number 1 surely has to be this man, which is Martin Zubimendi. Zubimendi, because I feel like, yes, we'll put it like that. I feel like Zubimendi has just been class. I didn't expect him to score a goal. I think he's matched his highest goal scoring tally in his life. But that volley, I think I saw it on replays again. That was amazing, man. Then obviously that celebration with Noni, that joint thing. Do you know what I mean? And the header, he gets up for headers. I can't lie to you, he gets up for headers. I thought as a short guy, obviously maybe the physical nature of the Prem, you got some big guys in there in the midfield, defenders and stuff, strikers, but he gets up in headers. He's down for the snap, and he's a boss. The way he bosses the game is amazing. So this is what I rank it so far. Zubimendi number 1, Eze number 2, Mosquera number 3, Gokres number 4, Madueke number 5, Norgaard number 6, Kepa number 7, and Hincapie number 8. So that's where I rank these players, Arsenal summer signings so far. Let me know what you guys think about what I've ranked them. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Would you have changed the rankings a bit depending on what you do? Drop them in the comments down below. I appreciate everyone that's tuned into this live. Please drop a like if you have been tuning in. Really, it helps the channel. Also, drop a comment as well, and I'll catch you guys hopefully in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Trying to stay consistent, trying to stay daily, and hopefully the next live can be a bit more active. It's been your boy KAPE has Pauser. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Have a lovely day.